Okay, thanks again, Sandy, for talking to us. On this occasion, I'd like to ask you about mental toughness, a term that the media, coaches, athletes all use very much. And yet, in science, we need to be a little more precise. Can we be precise about a term like mental toughness?
Yeah, I think we can. I think there is a need for it. You're right. I mean, everyone uses the term. It's an ear pricker. Everyone's like, "Oh, tell me more about mental toughness." And in my own research, we found, well, we know what it's not, but we weren't really that clear about what it is. When I ask people, how would you define it, or who do you think is mentally tough, identify people, they will come up with a whole range of people for different range of reasons as being mentally tough. And the research is trying to catch up with the interest in this area, and both qualitative and more recently quantitative approaches have at least identified some core characteristics of people who have been attributed as having mental toughness.
Like what? What are those characteristics?
The characteristics, I think the biggest one that everyone relates to immediately is having a very strong sense of self-belief, an inner, almost unshakable self-belief. And this is across all conditions, all situations, that regardless of the adversity or the pressure, the demands, they can cope. They can, and it's usually associated with what comes as another characteristic. It's usually associated with being able to pay attention to the right things at the right time. There's a lot mentally tough people are able to be aware of a whole bunch of cues or variables that they need to consider in terms of their environment, but they're able to focus in on the most important ones.
So you seem to be talking about a disposition, a trait. Is that how you see mental toughness?
I think the trait is a large genetic dispositional sort of. There's evidence that is present, and so it's natural. Right? Some people have it. At the same time, I think it can be developed. Now, having said that, I'm not sure if it's taught or caught. Okay. I think we have tools in our toolkit, about mental skills training and teaching people mental skills. But I personally know a lot of people. I've taught a lot of people mental skills, and yes, they've learned them, but I don't think they're mentally tough. So I think there's more to mental toughness than acquiring mental skills.
Yes.
Okay. And what I talk about being, catching mental toughness is that acknowledges the influence of environmental experiences, and including, and especially, in fact, hardship and challenge,
right.
And early and often.
And have we developed ways of measuring mental toughness?
Yeah, there are a couple of sport-specific measures. A PhD student, Dan Gucciardi, and I have developed psychometrically provable measures for Australian football and one for cricket. We're working on a general measure of mental toughness, which is a very tricky business. We've got data sets from different performance environments, and sport, obviously, but also business, medicine, military, security, and education. So, and there are other measures around. So it is a very topical issue, a measurement of general mental toughness.
Sure. And of course, the reason we're all interested in mental toughness is because we assume that it links to performance. An Olympic athlete, their aim is to win a gold.
That's
so
right.
Do we have any scientific evidence that mental toughness is linked to winning?
I think, the research that Dan Gould and his colleagues have on Olympians in particular is quite clear that they have developed, either been taught or have caught, characteristics associated with mental toughness along the way, as opposed to non-medalists. And so I think we can say with relative confidence that mental toughness is a highly desirable characteristic to have, and it's sustainable. You know, you develop these things. It's transferable, and I think intuitively people acknowledge that. I think they understand that.
Well, that's very interesting. Thank you so much for talking to us.
Ah, you're welcome.
Thank you.